Long one. There you go. Welcome, Shelby.
Hello.
Having a little fun this morning.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're so excited to be talking about a new product this morning.
Yeah. So Shelby is here with us. Shelby is from Pet Relief. Welcome. I'm glad you could join us today. We're back to our monthly chats on Thursdays. The third Thursday of every month, we are coming to you guys live. So you can learn a little bit more about the Pet Relief products and how hemp could actually maybe benefit or help your pet. So I was thinking maybe we could start off with a quick review. We have a lot of new fans and customers that are new to the Pet Bistro and our channel. So maybe a quick review on Pet Relief and maybe an overall full spectrum hemp and what it can do to help pets out.
Yeah, of course. So, we are a family-owned company here in Colorado. You can see some snow behind us. We just had some crazy weather come through here. But, we started the idea about Pet Relief in the early 2000s because the family, the Smiths, they were kind of going through some issues with their own pet and, the actual opiate pharmaceuticals that this poor dog was being prescribed, while it was kind of helping in some regard, it was really kind of taking away her personality. And so, the family was looking for something a little bit more natural and holistic. And so they really started to look into the benefits of hemp. And since it was a completely untapped market, it was really important that we were able to, control the entire process and really educate our end user on, what this is and, is it a safe product for their pet and how it works within their pet's bodies and what it'll do. So, there's a lot of knowledge when it comes to just hemp in general. And then, there's a lot of different brands out there now too. So Pet Relief, we really work on having sustainably and regenerative farming with our hemp and no herbicides or pesticides. So really clean, safe hemp for you guys because hemp, it actually works as a really powerful sponge in the ground. So it can pull up a lot of the nastiness beneath the soil. So having really clean, safe, quality hemp is really important. And so, how we use hemp is we use a full spectrum, meaning that we use CBD and 100 other plus cannabinoids that are found within the hemp crop. And they really work best when they're all used together. I always kind of use the analogy that, CBD is kind of our alpha dog and the additional cannabinoids, that's our wolf pack. So we want a strong, healthy, large wolf pack to really attack ailments that are happening within our bodies. So basically what's happening is when we're experiencing an ailment, really any being that has a spine has what's called an endocannabinoid system. And that's how our bodies communicate with all of our functioning systems. And without CBD, it only works on a one-way street. So let's say that, I'm feeling a little nervous and, can't settle my nerves, feeling some anxiety, if you will. What's happening is my endocannabinoid system is just firing off neurons on a one-way street to my nervous system. Same thing with our pets. And so when we're just receiving those messages, it's because of that one-way street. But when we activate a full spectrum CBD, it actually allows that one-way street to become a two-way street. So now we're just better able to communicate with those functioning systems. So before, when we're just receiving those messages, now I can better block, manage, stabilize, balance that messaging. So, if you're experiencing any type of ailment, CBD will probably help, but there's a lot to be said about using hemp and a hemp supplement daily for preventative use and keeping our pets healthier longer. With it helping, inflammatory response, that's huge. Most diseases stem from some sort of inflammation. It's a great assistant to helping the immune system. I know personally for me, I take Pet Relief every day and it helps incredible amount with my immune system. I'm typically scheduled to get a few sinus infections each year. And I really haven't had any issues with that since I started working at Pet Relief and taking it every day. So it's funny to have a testimonial for your own pet, but also for yourself. And then also it's a neuroprotectant. So it really supports a longer, healthier lifestyle because neuroprotectants help slow down the aging process, not only of the brain, but also of the hips and joints. So, this little nugget down here is my only child. And so she's my pride and joy. I really want to make sure that, I'm doing everything I can to make her life happy and healthy and, extend it into older years if I can, so that's for my own selfish, desires. But, I want to make sure that I'm giving her the best life that I can. So for her, she's getting Editibites every day. Again, it's a great general maintenance and just for those lesser severe ailments. So if you are experiencing some, we need to work on calmness or, some discomfort that seems manageable, I think our Editibites are a really great option. And then for those more intense ailments, something that can really, use an extra hand on the day-to-day, I think our oils are awesome for that too. So we've really got something for everybody. So that's why we love working with retailers like the Pet Bistro, because they're really educated on our brand and really know how to talk to you and what you're going through with your pet and kind of lead you into the right product that'll, make a difference.
Awesome. So I'm just going to run through like a quick bullet point list. It's great for any age pet, correct? Doesn't have to be a young or old dog or.
Yeah, start them as young as 6 months, puppy or kitten. By that point, they've been able to, all of their internal organs have grown and fully developed so they can fully process one thing at a time.
Perfect. And I'm just thinking some of the reasons why customers use Pet Relief at our store. There's arthritis, there's inflammation, there's maybe an injury, post-surgery from like a TPLO or knee surgery, cats with fear and anxiety, cats with constant or chronic urinary issues. Of course, our older pets always benefit. I know I saw our older dogs do really well with CBD and Pet Relief products. I have a couple of cats that are currently on it as well. Cancer management, anxiety, extreme fear, anxiety type symptoms, which could be riding in the car, veterinary visits, grooming appointments, fireworks, thunderstorms. We're kind of coming into thunderstorm season here in Michigan with spring weather around the corner. Yeah. And allergy management.
Yeah, and allergies is a great one too. Again, boosting the immune system. So
yes. So, and things are starting to bloom around here. So
yeah, that is true. And we did a segment not too long ago too about our just predisposed issues that some of our pets, just due to their breed, they might struggle with joint pain, whether they've got short little stubby legs or, they're carrying a ton of weight in a larger breed on top of those joints. Dachshunds with longer backs, it's a lot to support. And, shepherd mixes with hip and joint pain. So, there's a lot of things that you can use it for. So, you can kind of prolong creeping up on some of those, issues that we're probably going to see anyways, just because of the breed.
Perfect. Great overview and review. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
So I hear with our initial video that we had at the beginning that we have a new product to introduce.
Yes, I don't know if you guys sizzle at the end, but we're bringing the fan favorite of bacon. I think humans and pets are excited. So
yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. It's been a little bit since we introduced a new flavor. And as some of you know, we've started adding in certain ingredients into our Edibites to put claims on the bag, so it's a little bit easier if you're not as familiar with CBD and looking to kind of introduce your pet to it. It can kind of lead you in the right direction, whether you're looking for something to help calm, if you're looking for something as far as hip and joint, maybe some digestive health, or maybe just an immunity boost. We kind of have all of those options. But, you know, our bacon, this is going to be great for everyday wellness and optimal body function. So we're using a lot of really awesome ingredients. And again, it is a soft chew. It is grain-free. So, you know, why don't we start out with, you know, peppered bacon.
Yeah, like I originally saw that flavor and I was like, I know the benefits of pepper, but I know what customers are possibly thinking is it going to have like a spicy note to it? And I'm sure somebody around there has tried.
They're not bad. But yeah, so we use black pepper, so organic, fresh ground pepper. And so the reason that we chose pepper, and it is not spicy, so you don't have to worry about that, but black pepper is rich in a plant compound called piperine, and it has a lot of antioxidants to help remove damaging free radicals. And free radicals are what make us age. So again, kind of prolonging that lifestyle, if you will. And then it's also really great in helping support a normal inflammatory response in the body, especially during the early developing stages of, you know, even like respiratory or seasonal allergies, like we talked about. So it's funny because whenever I am around black pepper, I'm not one to cry around like onions when I'm cutting onions, but pepper makes me sneeze a bunch. But it's funny because it's helpful when it comes to seasonal allergies. So something new that you learn every day.
But it looks like, so let's talk a little bit about Edibites. Like why would somebody choose maybe an Edibite over the oil?
Yeah, so again, they're a lower potency, so they can tackle maybe those lesser severe ailments, something that is manageable. So if it's, you know, you're finding that your pet is a little bit nervous, maybe they're coming in for a groom, maybe they need a little bit of focus during training, maybe they really get scared and nervous around a vet, you know, just the situational things like we had talked about as the fireworks coming around, something that's really, you know, manageable, you know, and if you're experiencing a more severe ailment that's really kind of everyday, kind of creeping into your lifestyle and something that you could have a better hold on, that's when I'm going to recommend the oils. But the Edibites, you know, if they're starting to slow down in mobility, just a little bit stiff and creaky, you know, this is, you know, helpful for that too. So, and again, just that everyday kind of boost for the immune system, I think is huge. So that's when I'm going to recommend the Edibites. And, you know, a great introductory tasty supplement, right? These aren't necessarily treats, right?
Right.
If people look at these, they're going to say, that's an expensive treat. Well, you know, AFCO doesn't recognize CBD being included in a food as being legal. So this is a supplement. That's why you'll see that it's measured by a range of Edibites within the bag and measured by weight, because that's how supplements go. And then we also don't have like a guaranteed analysis on the bag either because of that. So, but Opal gets one of these every day to kind of just make sure we're maintaining her health. And it's been really helpful for us. I mean, a lot of my friends, I feel like they're going to the vet a lot, and you know, we really don't have to unless it's just for a checkup. So, you know, and I attribute a lot of that to her immune system just staying strong because she's getting one of these daily. And not to mention, I mean, she's cute. It's a little reward for her as well.
And on the package, can you just clarify? So we have the small and medium breed and we have the large breed, but the treats are the same size. correct?
Yes, they're all about an inch around as a square. And we have them in little trial size bags too. I just love these so much. So if you're just not sure that maybe your pet is a little bit picky, then these are a great way to kind of get a few days worth out of trying them out, so you can see, maybe a few days of results, and get a good idea about palatability. But these have 2 milligrams per Edibite, just like our small and medium breed. So we now have a small and medium breed tag on there. And then also something that you'll see is this new guy. Oh gosh, I'm an awful Vanna White.
You got it.
There we go. NASC, which we'll get into here in a second. I still wanted to go over a few more ingredients that we're using. And they also come in a large breed. So the large breed is our 5 milligram. So if you've got a bigger pet, and you would be flying through the small and medium breed bag just based off of body weight, you can always go. If you've got a smaller pet that could go to lose a couple of lbs and you're looking to cut calories or something like that, you can always give a large breed, do half in the morning, half in the evening, and split it up that way. I love that hack because, Opal, she's actually got a really sensitive stomach. And so the less oil I can give her, but a higher concentrate and that lesser amount of oil, the better it is for everybody. So
just to clarify, the trial size is going to have the lower potency treats in them, correct?
Yes, 2 milligrams. It's the same as the small and medium breed. Yeah.
Perfect. And approximately, if I remember right, you get about 30 treats in the large size bag?
Yep, about 30 to 33 in the bigger bag, and then in the trial size, it's about 9 to 11.
Awesome. And I think that's a great, like you said, a suggestion is to try the treat to see if your pet likes it. I'm excited about another meaty flavor because I find a lot of dogs, especially kitties, prefer something meatier.
Yes.
And this is exciting. I'm so excited about a new product.
Yes, and they're the same price point as the other soft chews as well.
Awesome.
Yep. So speaking of meat, we are using a natural pork flavor, which is an oil. And I know some people are like, is it like a smoky type of bacon? No, it's not a hickory bacon. It's just a natural pork oil. We're using vitamin E oil to keep them soft. And then some of the other ingredients that are really awesome, we're using grain-free flours. So we've got some pea flour, which we are used to. We've seen those in our other soft chews. We're also using organic rice flour and also organic sweet potato flour, which again kind of increases that protein as well, adds a lot of vitamins. So between the organic rice flour and some of the organic vinegar that we're using, it's working together to work as a natural preservative because we don't use any kind of chemical preservatives or gelatins. And it also helps any kind of prevention of mold or yeast growth too. So a lot of cool things happening there. And then and then back to the pepper a little bit too. It's cool actually. Some animal studies have shown that piperine, again, that compound that comes from black pepper, is demonstrated to support and even enhance brain functionality. Also great at supporting blood sugar levels with normal ranges. And when it works synergistically with curcumin, it actually helps with absorption. So, again, maybe something that's going to increase absorption of even CBD. So a lot of awesome things happening with these ingredients, and then coconut oil in there too. So a lot of awesome things.
Yeah, and I feel like pet parents are becoming a little bit more familiar with black pepper.
Yeah,
just because of like what you just mentioned, a lot of pet parents are doing, especially with the older senior dogs, for inflammation, finding it anti-inflammatory. People are making golden paste and using turmeric, and they're familiar with how the curcumin and the pepper synergistically work together. So I feel like if this was maybe launched prior to the whole golden paste move, it might be a little bit, people might not know what to do with it or not think that black pepper would be beneficial. So
yeah,
really awesome studies. I think I could see where this could be helpful for some of our our senior pets that are having some of the confusion with day and night and, what we call doggy dementia and whatnot, how this might be helpful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with CBD in general, it's going to help balance that nervous system that's kind of, firing off those neurons that are communicating that messaging. So you guys have seen Justin Thompson before, who is he's part of our product development team. He is the creator of all of our soft chews. So he works diligently to make sure that every ingredient that we're picking out is beneficial and intentional and can work together to provide even more benefits together instead of on their own.
Yeah. So. And I'd love to hear if any of our fans and customers are watching, what do you guys think of the new flavor? I'd love, put it in the comments. Let us know. I think this is really exciting for a new flavor.
Yeah. And again, as I mentioned before, I have eaten one of these. I actually went into my office manager's office and I was like, what are you snacking on? She's like, take these away from me. I was like, but, again, I think somebody who might not be in the pet industry might look at me like, oh, that's gross. But, again, if you look at the ingredient panel on all of our products, you've most likely had all of those ingredients. And, while it might not be super rich in flavor like what we do with our food and, genetically modify and enhance, and they're still pretty good. So I know Opal likes them. So.
Melissa's hanging out here with us this morning, and she says her dogs, another comment, she said her dogs love the Editibites, and she's excited about the new flavor. So
yes. Yeah. So I would assume, Melissa, by early April, you guys can have some in your hands.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. So we have some other fun things to talk about with things that are happening over at Pet Releaf.
Yes. So if you've tuned in before, you've probably heard a little bit about this, but something to discuss again, because again, you have to remember when looking into the CBD market, especially for pets, the pet industry, I think can always do a little bit better as far as regulation. And as far as cannabis, I mean, it's a relatively new industry where people are still trying to figure out, quality brands. And so by having the U.S. Hemp Authority seal, it really helps bring validity to a brand. So again, one of our co-founders, our president, Steve, he actually sits on the USDA U.S. Hemp Roundtable Board of Directors. And he was voted to be a VP and also sits on the FDA committee. And so he's been voted into that position because he's always truly focused on quality and transparency with our brand, because again, this comes back to a personal issue as to what they were going through with their own dog Maddie, the whole inspiration behind Pet Releaf, and knowing that you really just want to trust the brand that you're giving, and so these top industry leaders who came together, kind of noticing some of the red flags that we do see in this unregulated space, came together to create this seal. And so it's cool because on a lot of our packaging, you'll see, I'll do the tile size because you can barely see that, and knowing me as Vanna White, this little QR code, something that we're very familiar with, thanks to COVID. You can always scan that and on your phone, and it brings up our U.S. Hemp Authority seal and just more information on it. You can see other certifications as well that we obtain, and not to mention all of the testing. So if you're ever curious about our brand, it's not something that you have to dig deep into the World Wide Web to find. It is there for you. We want our customers to feel safe in checking it out. So by having this U.S. Hemp Authority seal, it just means that we've been through an audit to trace back our products to literally like what plot of land it was in, and when it was harvested by who, on what day, on what time. And, sometimes, and I mean, I'm in Colorado, so there's CBD brands everywhere, right? And so a lot of the time it becomes very muddled and you can't find the information that you're looking for on, even what state this hemp is being sourced from. So we were the first pet company to have this, which is really awesome. We've seen a lot more brands jump on board and obtain this seal too. So it's exciting because it's, pushing the industry in the right direction. There's a lot of great brands out there, and they're not to be overshadowed by some of the people who are just looking for a piece of the pie. A lot of people do want to bring good quality products to the market. So if you see an orange H, then it's a thumbs up.
And I think this is really, really important, especially when it comes to our cats and dogs, because they can't communicate with words to tell us if something does not make them feel well, if something is not settling correctly. So I think this is uber important to make sure that we're buying quality supplements and ingredients and not hemp or CBD products from the corner store, the gas station, the video store. The list goes on of places you can purchase CBD, THC type products, and they're marketed for pets too. So
yeah,
I'm glad.
The other day.
Where was it?
Home Goods.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, this has no business being here.
But but it's true. So it's like the more we can educate pet parents about seed to sale, third-party audits, making sure that there's certification, that there's traceability and all those things like that. I really truly believe that is super, super important for our cats and dogs.
Yeah. And I think, if you're looking for CBD for your pet, let's not get that at the gas station. Let's think, where else do I get good quality products for my pet?
Right.
At a pet supply store. These natural independents, there's something to be said for that, because you all vet every single brand that comes into your store to make sure it is good quality and up to the standard. And if you're not going to give it to your own pets, then you're not going to give it to your customers' pets.
Right.
And not only that, but you educate your team too, which I just is, invaluable. So
yeah. And of course we want customers to feel confident in the product they're purchasing and what they're about to give their cat or dog as well. And that it's not going to be harmful. So that's really important to our team at the Pet Bistro as well.
Yes.
Cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And Steve's got such a passion for this. I know a lot of customers aren't familiar with Steve. They see your face, but Steve is the owner of Pet Releaf, as Shelby started out today with our interview. And he's just so passionate. I love that he's like pushing forward in the industry with all of these great seats and places and making people aware of what's going on in the industry. So that's fantastic.
He's definitely blazed a trail in what I like to call the wild, wild west.
Yeah, CBD is kind of a pretty muddled category nowadays.
It sure is. And, I just find myself incredibly lucky to have stumbled upon the Smith family and, to have kind of been able to be a guinea pig and try out some of the products in the early stages when, our labeling looked very different than what it does now. And, the verbiage that we use look different now. And, so it's been cool to really evolve and grow as a company, as the industry does, and really play a big role in that too. So, hey, stop that. My director over here.
All right, and then we have another awesome quality seal that that you guys have been working on. So tell us a little bit about the NASC.
Yes. So the NASC is the National Animal Supplement Council, and we've been a member for a couple of years now. But to actually get the NASC quality seal on our products, which again our peppered bacon soft chews are the first product to have this seal on the product. It's huge, and we're so excited about it. And what it does is it helps basically regulate companies to make sure that, one, we're compliant. So, not only on our labeling, but also, in what I tell you, I'm not going to overpromise something and underdeliver when there's no science to back that. We're not here to lie to you. We're here to provide you with a good quality product. And the NASC really helps keep companies accountable for that and consistent in that too. So, product testing is huge. We were already testing in with a third-party lab, not one, but two, because again, it's just something that as pet parents and consumers, that's something that we would want out of the products that we, buy and, consume not only for ourselves, but give to our pets. So this just ensures consistency across the board. If we're telling you that there's 200 milligrams of CBD in that bottle, there's a test to prove that. So again, it's just proof within the pudding. And then quality and production control, it's been really cool because we've been able to invest more into our partners and help them become certified in a lot of different areas. And so finally, with our peppered bacon soft chews, of course, we've got the NASC seal on there. We've got the U.S. Hemp Authority seal on there too. And we're in the final stages of becoming organically certified for the entire product, meaning that every ingredient in there will be, organically certified. So again, we've been able to scale and, reach and obtain better quality ingredients and, sources as well, and being able to scale and work with better partners, we're able to really drop our price point as well too. So, before, you were definitely paying for a little bit more quality, but now you're still getting that same quality. But now that we've been able to really, strengthen those relationships with our partners, we're able to kind of drop that price point. And again, that comes from us controlling the entire process and not just purchasing a product and slapping a Pet Relief label on it. That's just not what we're about. So, yeah. So to get into a little bit more about that too. So gosh, when the Pet Bistro started working with us, we would take our calls in little cubes in front of a window where we could literally smell what was being baked that day, because we used to bake all of our chews and supplements in-house. But we quickly outgrew our little kitchen, and now we just use it for office space. But we have recently partnered with Fresca Foods within the last couple of years, and they have truly been able to help us scale. And so a couple of things to mention is that they truly focus on, changing the food system and making simpler, more wholesome and nutritious foods. So if you all are familiar with Justin's peanut butter or Lara bars, they all help create those products. And so they are also helping us manufacture our chews at Pet Relief. And so they have a 28,000 square foot facility dedicated just to Pet Relief. And, they work with a lot of, communities and looking to fight hunger. And then also they're super sustainable. So, they're actually 100% wind powered and a top recycler in Colorado. So really looking to help make a difference in climate control and, reducing our carbon footprint. So they've really taken it to the next level for quality control and making sure that we're testing every lot for moisture content and staying within the parameters of creating a safe and clean product and ensuring that it is effective and consistent. So we're just really lucky to have some awesome partners in our corner.
And they're not too far from you guys. So you guys can go over there and check on product and work closely with them as well.
Yep, one of these days we'll be able to all gather together again and go into our farms. And so y'all can talk to our horticulturist, go to our extraction facility and see how we take, this oil and, get it out of that crop. And then also, take you over to Fresca so you can see, the quality control. Even before COVID, taking temperatures, making sure everybody's sanitized from head to toe and, making sure that everybody is safe and really able to see, the big things that we're doing over there. So
nice. I'm excited about the tour. I know it's been a couple years now that we've been trying to get out there and just haven't made it. So
I know. So
this year
I'm ready for it too. It's a great field trip.
literally.
Literally. So, but I know cats, you know, a lot of people are always looking for an option for their cats. And, you know, one thing about Pet Relief is all of our products are both dog and cat friendly, except for our Canacare topical. It's got a couple of essential oils in there that on a certain level, it can be potentially toxic to cats. So just to err on the safe side of caution, we don't recommend that. But if you find that you've got, you know, a cat that will explore new ingredients. Not many of you, I'm sure, but you know, they can definitely try out the Editibites. And again, that's kind of where the trial size is nice to see if your kitty will take to it. But for, you know, people like Kelly who, you know, have a picky cat, you know, that's really kind of what's slowed down some of the more cat-friendly products, is because they can be somewhat finicky. So really we're looking to perfect, you know, palatability and stuff like that. But a lot of our cat customers out there do find some relief in our oils. And these are two simple ingredients. They're organic CBD oil and organic coconut oil. And you do have a higher potency in there to really tackle something a little bit more intense too. So, I also will use these as kind of a daily supplement as well. You know, Opal really likes it. She's got, she likes the coconut oil. She thinks that's her dessert. So, you know, again, if you can give these on an empty stomach, then 30 to 45 minutes before or after your cat eats, you know, if they can lick it out of the dropper, you can, you know, finagle it in the side of their cheek, then, you know, you're going to get best results, because sublingually it's going to absorb into those blood vessels within their mouth and get into their bloodstream that way. And I like them because they're two simple ingredients. If your pet tends to be allergic to some things, this is also, you know, helpful, because you're eliminating a lot of ingredients and able to kind of reduce that risk for any kind of reaction. So if you find that your cat is a little pickier too, again, we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but if I'm a big fan of always jumping up a couple of potencies, because one, I find that it'll last me a little bit longer, because I can give more CBD and lesser amounts of oil. And then I find that price point sometimes goes down with that too. And then it's, you know, you're not trying to mask or get a milliliter of oil into your cat. You know, if you can get a couple of drops in there, then, you know, it might be a little bit easier that way. So I know that the Pet Bistro uses Astro Loyalty, which is awesome, because not only does it help create loyalty to a brand, but it also helps create loyalty to a store. And we've got some really phenomenal deals. And not to mention, I mean, this is a really good deal for March, which we'll get to here in a second, but it used to be buy 10, get the 11th free. You don't have to worry about that anymore. We're doing buy 5, get the 6th one free, and that's retroactive too. So if you've bought 5 bottles and looking for that free bottle, it'll register on Astro.
That's awesome. And we are honoring the $4, $6, and $10 off in store. So it's for in-store purchases if you're in need of a refill.
Exactly. And so, you know, we've got about 13 days left on that deal. So still plenty of time to go and stock up, but that's an awesome deal. I mean, $10 off of the 500. I mean, that's.
Yep. And this deal expires March 31st. Mm-hmm. And I totally agree with you on like going up to the higher potency. So this might be helpful, Kelly. I actually, with our smallest cat, I actually use the highest potency, the 500 milligram, and because I can get away with like 5 drops.
Yeah.
And I actually put it right in her mouth. So she's actually, after about 5 to 7 days of me doing it daily, she's become used to it. And I don't even like open her mouth. I just drip it down like the side crease. And then once it's in her mouth, she licks it and laps it up. And by the time I do that, it's done and over. So there's no like second catch of trying to grab her and put more in her mouth. We're done, and she can go her way and I go my way.
Yeah, and there's something to be said too about our extraction process and how we've really kind of refined it over the years, and been able to invest into newer machinery that allows us to remove more plant material and waxes, which a lot of the time that was kind of bringing that hempy taste that maybe cats weren't loving. So it's not as hempy as it once was, and really they're going to taste more of that coconut oil too. So, and again, in the lower potencies too, you're going to have a more coconut type flavor because of the ratios there. So I know a lot of cat parents and, would probably want to see cat on the label or small breed oil. It says for small dogs and cats. For the large breed, it says just for dogs. But again, it is a cat friendly option. It's not like we are using a different crop in that bottle. We're using the same exact oil. It's just higher concentrated. So, dogs and cats, they both have spines. I have a spine. That's why I take the 1700 too, or now the 500. I just call them the large breed now. But, there's it'll work very similarly. There's not anything that's going to turn your cat into a dog or your dog into a cat, so, something that you can always think about if you've struggled to get, half of a milliliter into your pet system. And then of course we have our liposomes too, which are an awesome option for cats as well. Unfortunately, those aren't on promo for the month, but again, if you buy 5 and get the 6th one free, even those liposomes, it'll last you up to 2 months for your cat. So, it's a great deal, just price per day. It's actually very cost effective and it's a little bit more convenient. Our liposome, you can actually put that one directly on food and it's mixed with the wild Alaskan red pollock oil if you find that maybe your cat's not the biggest fan of coconut oil. So we've got options and we are going to be launching an Edibit here soon too. Again, just really making sure that it is an option for if you're looking for more of a chew. So until then, again,
hold tight, Kelly.
Yes, I know, Kelly. I'm waiting
on
they're coming. But again, if you find that your cat, will likes certain ingredients, check out our Editibites for now too. A quarter of an Editibite is totally fine to give to a cat. So the soft chews are a little bit easier to break up. But for example, our sweet potato, now our digestive health chew, that includes marshmallow root, which is really great for easier bowel movements and kind of, greasing up the pipes, if you will. It's got mucilage in it. But in a palatability test, a lot of the time cats will walk towards marshmallow root. Mm-hmm. So, maybe that's an option that your cat will get excited about. I know some of our employees who have cats, they just give their cats our sushi Editibites that also include a red pollock oil in it, and some spirulina in there too. So there are options, and again, the trial size is a really awesome way to kind of do that palatability test and not totally break the bank if you find that your cat won't take to it. But we do also 100% guarantee our products as well. So, we do reimburse the pet bistro on the back end if it's not a good fit. So
totally. Good. Cool. We have options for cats and dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, good. All right. It looks like we had one other question here. Danny has said that her dog looks like it's limping. It slipped on the ice and wanted to know if hemp can relieve some pain.
Yeah,
I'm still walking on it though.
Yeah. So there's a couple of options there. So again, CBD is known to help with supporting an inflammatory response. So it can bring some of that down, and a lot of the pain messaging going on right now throughout her brain and her body, it's definitely something that CBD again will help balance and stabilize that mismessaging going on. So definitely helpful if you want to try out some of the oil. If it's, if she's in a lot of pain, maybe a higher potency can help with that. And, once she's, done feeling that pain, again, it's something that you can give daily. I love the tinctures because areas you can kind of, alter and cater towards whatever your pet is feeling that day. Again, my dog is generally pretty healthy too, but we've had some issues with the snow as well. I know that we've talked about it before, but my dog was like finding something in our backyard to cut her paw on, maybe some ice or something like that. And so we definitely used hemp oil for the pain. And if she is short-haired too, in that area where she's fallen, you can even try out some of our topical that has some skin penetrating properties too. So you can give her a little puppy massage, and other essential oils will help with the inflammation as well. And pain relief, there's eucalyptus and wintergreen in there. That's why we can't give that one to cats. So I find that when you use the oil and the topical on something external like that, you can always kind of tag team that ailment from both sides. And I personally am a huge fan of our topical. I use it on myself constantly. So
it's nice. I use it too. Danny, and I'm not familiar if you are local or not, but we also offer chiropractic care at the Pet Bistro. So that combined with the Pet Relief can also offer some great relief. If you're not local, we can definitely get you a link for helping you find a chiropractor in your area, specifically an animal chiropractor that can probably really help with some of the residual effects of falling on the ice. So that could be really helpful.
Yeah, fun fact, Opal's been to a chiropractor, but I've never been to one.
Oh, look at you.
I know. I'm like, can I get up on the table when you're done with her?
Yeah, right. All right. And Melissa says, my dogs love them.
I'm so glad. Well, I can't wait to hear some feedback on the bacon Editibites.
Yeah, we had a quick good morning. And then Ellen is joining us, and she says she's loving all the info. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Ellen.
Yeah. Good. All right. So I think we wrapped up all of our slides. If anybody has any questions, if you're catching us in a replay, just go ahead and put your questions in the comments below. We circle back around and make sure that if we can answer the question, we'll answer it. If we need to reach out to Shelby for further information, we'll do that as well. And we'll be back here again next month. Let's see, what's the date for April? April is the third Thursday is the 15th.
Yes.
Fun day. It's supposed to be tax day. I just heard yesterday it got pushed back though.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. And of course, we have all the products at our store. You can purchase online at thepetbistro.com. You are always welcome to stop in the store. You can always give us a call as well at 248-548-3448. We can help guide you with the right product that you need for either your cat or dog, depending on, symptomology, what's going on. We'll probably have clarifying questions because that's how we run around at the Pet Bistro, is making sure that we ask the right questions to point you in the right direction for the right product. So I'm super excited about peppered bacon Editibites, and of course we'll have them in stock as soon as we can get them from our distributor.
Yes. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you could join us, and we'll see you next month.
Sounds good. See you next
month. Shelby.